BC. Is there such a thing as real liberation? It seems most teachers sell an impossible standard. But I found that I can't find this perfectionism, and the endpoint of a blissful life never really comes. Maybe this is just an underlying trauma like abandonment or the need to get it right. How can one orientate to the happy life moment to moment and do away with perfectionism? Hey BC, thank you for your question. Yeah. This is, I mean, there's pros and cons to all teaching. And, you know, the pro about teaching that this is a life after life thing, you know, that doesn't just come in this life, you know, like the Buddhists do. It's the good thing about that is it takes away this perfectionism and this idea, okay, I gotta sit here and do it all now. And I'm gonna arrive to it in this life, and if I don't, I'm gonna beat myself up. So that's a pro of the Buddhist teaching. The con to that is this story through time, this elongated story of a you that's going to go through many lives and eventually arrive at freedom. Yeah, it's difficult. You know, BC, because we've spoken a lot, you know, and I understand there's difficult dynamics for you because of things that have happened in the past. You know, something that might be really beneficial for you is a very regimented practice that you do, and you don't let your mind, you know, talk you out of it. You might need to be and have the support of a group, you know, like it doesn't have to be anything in particular. It could be meditation, it could be yoga, it could be therapeutic, it could be body work, but some form of practice to really help calm down the body-mind mechanism, and maybe even semi to the point where it forgets about liberation or awakening and just concentrates more on settling down the body-mind mechanism. I mean, it could also carry on listening to non-duality, but I really understand what you mean. Like, you're in pain, you're suffering, and then you listen to teachers that have had an awakening, and then there is this seeking for it, and that's kind of like it's agonizing. Whereas if you're in these practices, you know, when I was in the Buddhist group, there was never an expectation that it was going to happen in this life. It was never talked about like that. So you went and you meditated, and, you know, bit by bit, things improved. But meditation's not for everyone on the human level. And then, I mean, like traditionally, and then when you're more balanced, then you move on to non-duality. The thing is when you have perfectionism all as well, it will also, you know, stop you maintaining practices. You know, that's the nature of perfectionism. It's very debilitating, you know. If you can't do something perfect, then you won't do it. I mean, I'm aware of perfectionistic mentality. So you can only do it in the perfect circumstances, so therefore it keeps being missed and not done, and then you beat yourself up more, and you're more imperfect, and the shame. So it's difficult, but I do see the problem, because we've spoken before, with this non-duality teaching. And non-duality teaching isn't the fixing of the person, you know. So I can still have difficult personality dynamics that I still, you know, have to work on. It's not like I crossed a barrier and then I've got perfect personality. You know, I've still got childhood traumas that come up from time to time, and difficult family relationships from time to time, and communication skills that need retraining. But there was, in my experience, a shift which really saved my life in a way. But everyone's different. You know, don't base your happiness on an idea or striving for what I'm talking about. That's a sad reality, you know. It's all in mental ideas and stories. And the good thing about doing a practice is it can help focus the mind, because eventually what it comes down to is your relationship to this present moment. Not you as a person, but you as beingness. I mean, you don't have a relationship as beingness, but I mean it as in, like, it's you going inwards to discover there is no you that goes inwards, but it's kind of starts as a you going inwards. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. I can also detect sometimes by the way you say things, is that there's a lot of stories that come up that have a narrative of being trapped. Just become aware of that, because ultimately you aren't trapped. The story might feel trapped, the character might feel trapped, but you aren't trapped. But when you're deep in feeling trapped, that's a hopeless message to hear. You know, you can't hear that. So then that's when I say go back to doing a practice. Yeah, thank you, BC, for your question.